Live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to picking a fight with the negative news out there, the mainstream media, the fake news, as some call it, and helping you win in any marketplace. We want to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Pull out your smartphone, save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372. You can call or text our Consumer Advocate hotline at 813-670-7372, and we're going to help you win. Also, bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. You can find links to all of our expert contributors under the Expert Contributors tab. You can see our daily blogs as well as our contact form. You can submit the form there. It comes directly to us just like an email, just by clicking on the contact form. And we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you're throwing a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to help you win. We're going to make you just a bit more street smart. And we've got Intelligent Talk Radio here. I've got some intelligent folks in studio. And let's go around the horn now and make our introductions to our expert contributors for today. Mario Larrea, mortgage specialist, Home First Lending. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, Brandon. Good to be here. Ready for to get some sunshine going on. This rain is about to kill me here. The pool's overflowing. It's just getting ridiculous. But I'm going to be talking about the PACE program today, going over a little bit of ins and outs on the biweekly program too, and just some overall in the real estate market today. So
I like that. Yeah, talking about ways you can pay your mortgage off faster, make your money work for you rather than the other way around. So I like that. Mario Larrea of Home First Lending, as well as Jason Brooks. He's the Vice President of Retail Sales, E-Mortgage Management, our reverse mortgage specialist. Welcome in, sir.
Awesome. Great to be here again. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the pros and cons of reverse mortgage, give a couple of examples of some things that you may or may not have known that you could do with a reverse mortgage. And I definitely second what Mario is talking about because I am over the rain today.
Yes.
So it's track day today, and I really would like to go to the track instead of get washed out again. So
nice.
Glad to be here.
Nice. Yeah, you have that
couple
fun
cars.
there,
Yes.
getting out there and running the cars.
Yes, sir.
I like that. Awesome. Gary Hallock back in the house, territory owner of We Insure. He's an insurance expert here in Tampa Bay. Welcome in, Gary.
Good morning, Brandon. It's a pleasure to be here again. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the options of insurance and what it does and doesn't cover for you.
Excellent. Yeah. Let them know what's happening out there in that space and different changes coming down the pike. And, we talk a lot about smart money on this show, where to protect yourself, always about getting that review as well, financial blueprints, making sure your portfolios are in line. A lot of things to talk about with the show here. And coming up, we got the top 10 best kept secrets for buying a home, according to HGTV, as well as our feel-good story of the week. A Good Samaritan prevents what could have been a tragedy in Treasure Island in our Tell Me Something Good segment. So we've got that coming up as well. And we always start our show off with a little bit of personal development. So we're going to give you that 2-minute drill, helping you understand some personal development. So we've been doing a series on Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Yesterday's show, we talked about habit number 2 and some interesting stories about Bobby Bowden with the Florida State Seminoles and that as well. And today we're talking about habit number 3. So it says, put first things first. This is about personal management, which involves organizing and managing time, events, and self-organize and execute around priorities. So that right there reminds me of the Pareto's principle. When you look at Wilfredo Pareto, 1895, an Italian economist was looking around and he said, hey, there's a lot of land and wealth that is owned by 20% of the people, going, 80% of the wealth rather, going to 20% of the people. So when you look at organizing your time and your events on a daily basis, you really got to write out a list of, hey, here's what I do on a daily basis. Here's the top 10 things that I'm typically doing on a given day. And focus on the top 2 or 3 that are going to produce your results. So in any business, you can break that down. If you're in sales, it's, hey, get the phones ringing, following up with prospects, making sure you're following through on those sales pitches or different presentations that you're getting out there. So that's number 3. I think that's what Stephen Covey's talking about there. He's talking about personal management, organizing and managing time. So you can't really manage time too well. You have to look at, what's the squeakiest wheel. If you get into that situation, you're going to be chasing your tail. You want to focus on the top tasks that are going to attribute the most to your success and your prosperity on a daily basis. And that's your 2-minute drill from the Quarterback Show here today, helping you win, understanding that. So we're going to continue our 7 habits of highly effective people as well in next week's show as well. So here we go. We're jumping into this content. We've got Mario Larrea, mortgage specialist, and Mario. We talk a lot about rates and some of the same stuff. Rates aren't really changing too much right now, I don't think. But let's talk about where we see things going. I love the idea of down payment assistance programs, some of these PACE programs out there, and you had mentioned the biweekly payment options out there. So I think it's important for folks to understand these different programs are available to them.
Yeah, the PACE program it's a really, really interesting program. It came out about like in 2007. They said it was they named it like a world-changing idea, and it's a great program for any homeowner out there. Basically, what it is they allow for financing of anything that would make your home more energy efficient. So covers windows, insulation, roofs, solar panels, stuff like that. And they allow you to actually finance it, 100% financing, so no money down. And they'll give you up to a 25 year term. So wow. The cool thing, too, is that it's not actually linked to the individual. It's linked to the property. So let's say I go and get my house all completely energy efficient, and then a year or 2 later, I want to sell it. Well, it's going to be worth a little bit more now because of all the improvements. But now that that lien actually it rolls over to the next seller or to the buyer,
right?
And now they're responsible for the payments to get rid of it, because it's actually paid during the tax bill or with your tax bill is when you actually make the payment.
That's interesting. Now, do they have certain like LTV or CLTV loan to value?
You do have to have equity in the property, but they're pretty lenient on the amount that you have.
Because you're going to improve the property and it's going to go up anyway.
Well, and that's the idea too. Is it's going to do a few things for you. It's going to make it's going to drop your bills, your energy costs. So the idea is that it drops your energy costs more than the actual payment's going to increase. So it puts you in a better financial position. Also, the value of your property increases. So all around it creates a little bit less risk for the the lender.
Yeah, I like that. In more and more these days, we're seeing the solar becoming relevant. We're seeing the different, even with Suncoast Roofing, having Chuck on the show, I've learned a lot about the roofing systems and how, some of these different aspects of the home. By improving the home, you're not only going to have potential tax incentives in different ways, but you're going to save money in your overall heating and cooling. LED lighting comes to mind with John Grant, Eagle LED Lighting. Over 80 show partners here with the Quarterback Show. So, we've got a lot of different folks that can help you improve your efficiencies in your home, save some money, and then, ways to invest that money back into either a down payment, a biweekly payment program that could get you paid off faster.
Yeah, definitely. And the biweekly program and PACE it goes hand in hand in a sense that you're trying to increase the amount of equity that you have, increase the value of your home. You're increasing the amount of equity that you have available. But biweekly program is a great program. Basically, what it ends up doing, it makes you accelerate your payments. A 30-year term ends up being a 25-year term at the end of the day. So it also lowers the effective interest rate that you're paying, because the money that you're prepaying, you're paying 0% interest on. So it's a great way to speed up paying down your mortgage.
I like that, and that is wealth. The difference between what you owe and what your property's worth is a opportunity to access wealth. It's as liquid as you want it to be, depending on how you structure things. So Mario Larrea, mortgage specialist here, Home First Lending here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, talking about intelligent ways to add value to your property, pay down a mortgage faster. And are you seeing any of those exuberant loan programs coming back, Mario? Or any of these high loan to value or maybe limited income documentation?
There are a lot of things opening up right now. I think I'd mentioned this before. I have it's 1% down. The real cool thing about it is it's actually a 3% down program. The lender pays 2% of the down payment for you. So you walk in with 3% equity, you're only putting 1% down. So, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. It's available basically for everybody.
Wow.
But it's an amazing program. Now, we do have some more programs that are opening up now for self-employed people, because that's been a big concern, in the past, that with all these Dodd-Frank changes and documenting income, a lot of self-employed people can't qualify for a mortgage. So, we have some available now where instead of showing tax returns, most self-employed people, they have more money than what reflects on tax returns.
Right.
So, we have it available now where, they can they can use bank statements to qualify with as little as 10% down.
Bank statements, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, if the money's flowing through the business, now people are going to structure it differently for Uncle Sam, potentially. We're not advocating that, but it happens. So that's the old catch-22, right, Mario? People, they're writing off, self-employed 1040s. They're going down to line 31, and they're saying, yeah, that's what I made.
I mean, and all those tax rules are there so you can take advantage of them. You don't have to pay as much in taxes, but then
right.
The other edge of that sword is now you can't qualify for a mortgage.
That's right.
But, now with these bank statement programs, all we do is we take the average of your 24-month deposits, and bam, that's your income. And these programs haven't been available for a long time. So it's exciting. And, there's a lot of people that are able to qualify for mortgages that couldn't in the past few years.
It's very nice.
So if you're out there and you're thinking, hey, this sounds pretty interesting, I haven't heard this before, why don't you reach out, give us a call, shoot a text message, 813-670-7372. Give us a call or a text, and we'll put you in touch with Mario Larrea, Home First Lending, and help you, understand a little bit more about these programs. No pressure at all, just to let you know what your options are. Free consultation, 813-670-REQB. That's our phone number. Also, consumerqb.com. And more from our expert contributors coming up as well. We're going to talk with Jason Brooks, Vice President of Retail Sales, E-Mortgage Management, Reverse Mortgage Specialist, as well as Gary Hallock, Territory Owner of We Insure. We got an interesting story as well. A Good Samaritan prevents what could have been a tragedy in Treasure Island in our Tell Me Something Good segment, as well as our top 10 best kept secrets for buying a home according to HGTV. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, helping you win in any marketplace, making you more street smart here. I'm Brandon Rhymes, your host on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm also a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay and featured in Florida Realtor Magazine, Top Agent Magazine, the Business Journal, recognized for innovation with marketing, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate. If you or someone you know is interested in selling an asset, we would love to talk to them. Commercial real estate, vacant land, even businesses. We've got folks that can help sell businesses. Reach out to our hotline, 813-670-7372. Our consumer advocate hotline, 813-670-7372. And giving a shout out to Brio Tuscan Grill at the International Plaza, our official restaurant partner. Brio Tuscan Grill is located off of Bay Street at International Plaza, and Brio Tuscan Grill is an international plaza where you'll discover Italian menu, drinks, and a cozy atmosphere, bringing you the pleasures of the Tuscan Country Villa to Tampa. Check it out. Great place to be. Awesome restaurant. We enjoy it over there as well. And in studio today, we've got Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending. Also, reverse mortgage specialist here, Jason Brooks, in the house. He's the vice president of retail sales with E Mortgage Management. And Gary Hallock is our insurance expert, territory owner of We Insure. And I'm Brandon Rhymes with Platinum MVP Realty. I want to let you know about a couple of hot listings that we've got here. 5208 East Longboat Boulevard in Tampa. This is a 5 bedrooms, 3 and 1/2 bath property. 4,161 square feet heated, and it's a beautiful home with bay access in that town and country area of Tampa. 33615 is the zip. $855,000. Great buying opportunity here with bay access and a pool, and just a really nice property. As well as 701 East Crenshaw Street in Tampa. This is in the Seminole Heights area. It's a reduced, complete renovation home here. Beautiful property. Pool home with 3 bedrooms and 2 bath. No HOA. Or CDD, 2,300 square feet, and it is $259,000, just reduced. Beautiful properties here in gorgeous Tampa Bay. All right. So we're back here in studio helping you win in any marketplace. Let's switch gears here. First segment, we were talking with Mario Larrea, talking about some of the forward mortgages, ways to build up equity, biweekly payment programs to help you accelerate your payments, your down payments, and increase that equity. Let's switch gears. Let's talk with Jason Brooks now. He's the vice president of retail sales, E Mortgage Management. The reverse mortgage product is another valuable tool in your financial toolkit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've been doing reverse mortgages, well, personally now for about 6 years, and we've grown it into an entire channel of what we do, and these are feel good loans for us. We do these these are life changing a lot of the times. I'm here to talk today. I want to talk a little bit about the pros and cons, the good and the bad. Just kind of answer some questions that a lot of people have that I get a lot, and they don't have the answers. The internet doesn't tell you the truth. You can get both answers on the internet at any time. So these are factual. This is factual information. One of the ones is a reverse mortgage is not only an option for homeowners, it's also an option for home buyers. We just did a transaction where a couple moving from Indiana sold their home. It was free and clear. They're on a fixed income. He is an avid boater, really wanted a property on the water, moving here to be closer to grandchildren and so on and so forth, and they were going to settle for something not on the water. He didn't realize that he could buy what he wanted, never make a payment on it again, and get the property on the water that he wanted.
Right.
And they were ecstatic, literally dancing at the closing. 68 years old. It was amazing to watch. So, we made a friend for life there. The way that we do reverse is a little different than most. We actually cover the majority, if not all, their closing costs, which is kind of rare. Most companies aren't willing to do that. The other thing, there's a lot of people ask the question, well, do I pay taxes on the money that I get from reverse? And the answer to that question is no. Consult your accountant, but no. Right. It's not considered income. It's an equity position. So, there's a lot of really good beneficial things with a reverse mortgage. The last time I was on the show, I talked a little bit about kind of the worst case scenario,
right?
Which is always how I like to start with anybody I'm speaking to on the phone or in person with a reverse mortgage. And worst case scenario is you live to be 120 years old and you owe $1 million on a house that's worth $500,000. Yep. The good news is your children or heirs get to first right of refusal to purchase the house back for 95% of the value of the home.
Wow.
And the difference is forgiven. It's a non-recourse loan, meaning you're not, your estate doesn't absorb that additional hit for the money that's over and above. So it's very safe. You do have to keep up with insurance and taxes. You can do a set aside for that if you don't want to. So there's a lot of really good information out there. Just depends on where you get it.
Yeah, the pros and cons of a reverse mortgage. It was the Reagan administration, I think, is when it came about. A lot of times you have opportunities there, and you can also do a reverse for purchase.
Exactly, yeah, and that's actually a very effective way to enjoy the retirement years and get into the property that you want to spend the rest of your life in. The ages, they go off the youngest of the homeowners. However, that has been changed recently, so if you have one that's over 62, you can have one that's under 62 now, as long as they're both title in the property. So there's definitely some changes that were made. It is primary residence only. It's a government-backed loan, so it is insured. And the rates are typically in the 3s and 4s, depending on the type of loan that you're doing.
I like that product also because it when you have seniors that they've been the ones that have really caught the brunt of this old economic crash and the meltdown, because we think about it from a lending perspective. Borrowers like it because the rates are low, but savers are on the complete opposite side. They're here these folks are they work their butts off and they're in their what are supposed to be their golden years, and their investments aren't paying what they should. They kind of got the short end of the stick there, but so I like it because it gives access. It provides access to cash if something unforeseen, medical, maybe the car breaks down, whatever that situation might be.
Yeah, and you see that a lot. I mean, a lot of the reverse, a lot of the clients that we deal with, unfortunately, there was some form of a tragedy or a change in income or something that happened that created an additional expense that was going to be a permanent expense.
Right.
And luckily, because of the credit guidelines on a reverse mortgage are not the same as getting a traditional mortgage. There's no score requirement. There's no, basically it's very simple. You either, you have to be of age and you have to have equity in the property. So at the end of the day, it's not something that you can't get out of. Being on the other side of the mortgage business, unfortunately, a lot of the times people wait until it's too late to try to go get a mortgage.
Yep.
They waited till it blew up and then went and it's too late at that point. So it's hard to foreshadow, and I'm sure Mario can attest to that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's better to plan than it is to kind of wait until something happens. So it's
be proactive.
Exactly, very much so.
We talk a lot about that, being proactive on the show, things to think about, helping you think a layer deeper here on the Quarterback Show. Jason Brooks, Vice President of Retail Sales, eMortgage Management. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We talk about this financial wheel, the business wheel also with our show. We have 80 show partners, CPAs, financial advisors, 7 or 8 different types of attorneys, all types of real estate-related experts, and credit expert as well. Shout out to the credit magician, William Crowley, a.k.a. the credit magician there, helping you improve credit, understand more about how to avoid identity theft, prevention, and recovery. So we want you to think about this show as the hub of your business wheel. Each spoke is standing out, representing another one of our preferred partners. So please save our hotline number. Go to consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors. Anybody that you might need on that wheel, I will personally make an introduction and make sure that we can, help you with whatever you're facing. And if we can't help you, if we're not the right solution, we're going to know somebody who can. So think of us as your one-stop for anything that you need, financially related, health, business, finance, all these different areas. Let's switch over real quick back to Mario. Mario, Jason brought up credit. Where are we looking at as far as credit goes, credit scores, things like that? What's some of your...
Well, that's one of the good things, too, that's been coming about is they're getting a lot more lenient with the score requirements. So, for instance, I can easily go down to 580 on FHA loans with 3.5% down. I do have some programs down to 500. Once you get below 580, it gets a little bit more difficult because a lot of times the scores, the trade line, like they don't have the needed accounts required. But, there are now some subprime programs where you can go down to 500 scores. It doesn't really even matter about your credit. One day out of bankruptcy, one day out of foreclosure, one day out of short sale. I mean, if you have some money to put down, you can get around your credit.
One of my old buddies working with Angel Oak now. You guys know Calderon, don't you?
Yeah,
Jerry,
he's actually my rep.
Yeah. So he's that's subprime.
out to Jerry.
Yeah. So these programs are out there, guys. So we want you to engage us, reach out to our hotline, and let us help you help yourself. And a good Samaritan prevents what could have been a tragedy in Treasure Island in our Tell Me Something Good segment coming up, as well as our top 10 best kept secrets for buying a home, according to HGTV. More from our expert contributors. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Giving a shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, former USF football player, played on the inaugural football team at the University of South Florida. Go Bulls. Longtime quarterback on my sports teams. And now we're quarterbacking transactions for our sellers out there, helping you sell your real estate, your assets for more money. And we're also quarterbacking introductions to our 80-plus show partners, helping you win in any marketplace. That is the goal of our show. We want to help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, we want to make sure you give us a call, 813-670-7372. Give us a call.
Here's my number, so call me maybe.
Anthony's favorite song there. Give us a call at 813-670-7372. And we're going to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. ConsumerQB.com is our website, blog site, a plethora of information available for you there as well. Intelligent Talk Radio, making you more street smart. Mario Larrea is in the house, Home First Lending. Jason Brooks, E-Mortgage Management. And we're going to talk with Gary Hallock here in a moment, our insurance expert. He's the owner of We Insure. He's got a team around Tampa Bay as well, a team of experts in all different areas, different neighborhoods. Giving a shout out to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora in beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's the first new hotel built on St. Pete Beach in decades. Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude. Now, this is a whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites with balconies overlooking the Intercoastal Waterway. Rooftop yoga on the weekends, as well as the Castile restaurant. They're doing this new Thursday night karaoke. So if you are a aspiring singer, get out there and check them out on Thursday nights. Have you guys seen this hotel yet? Have you guys been there?
I have
Gorgeous,
not been there, but
gorgeous.
I've seen pictures.
Yeah, it's great. So beautiful Hotel Zamora St. Pete Beach, our official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, make sure if you schedule, let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Give them the REQB code, and you're going to get 15 to 20% off of your stay over at the Hotel Zamora. A couple of hot listings: 380 Bridle Pathway, Tarpon Springs. 4 bedrooms, 2 bath property, 1,800 square feet, and it's a beautiful pool home with a fenced-in yard and a great community here in Keystone. Phase 2. Tarpon Springs, 380 Bridle Pathway, beautiful property, as well as 7657 132nd Way in Seminole. This is a great opportunity, $399,000, owner motivated, just reduced, and it is a beautiful 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, pool style home, no HOA or CDD, 2-story home. Beautiful buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay, helping you win in any marketplace. So jumping back into this great content, Gary Hallock, territory owner of We Insure, helping you understand your insurance, not only the premium aspect, but also the coverages, Gary.
Oh, yeah. Work with a lot of clients, and one of the things that we have an issue with is someone just going to another company and getting a quote and not understanding their coverages. And as Mario probably works with a lot of first-time home buyers, they're cash strapped. They don't have a lot of extra money. And if they have a large claim, they're having to go out and buy all their contents again, their clothes, their underwear, and people just don't realize the cost of that if you have to go out and refurnish your entire home.
Right.
And it's usually not that expensive of an endorsement to have added onto your policy. Another big endorsement that we've seen a lot of is the maintenance plan on the policy. So covers your air conditioner, and again, $2,000, $3,000 to have a new AC put in your house. And it's just a very inexpensive endorsement to help protect probably your most expensive investment you ever make.
Absolutely. A lot of people, the real estate is their wealth, their home, they may have an extra, couple of real estate properties, duplex, triplex, quad, and I love that aspect, guys, of, buying a real estate property. And even if you're a first time buyer, let's say you just graduated from USF or UT and you're a first time buyer, why not buy a duplex, a triplex, or a quad, live in one side or 1/4 of the building, and then you've got 3 incomes built in, and that's how you start building up wealth at a young age.
Oh, that's very true. And again, you also want to protect yourself. It's very easy to take a massive step back by someone coming and slipping and falling on your property and being sued.
Exactly.
It could wipe out those other 3 units because they're not homesteaded, and they can be subject to garnishment. Again, consult your tax advisor and your attorney.
Yeah.
But liability risk is a very large risk, and we're starting to see a lot more liability claims in the market from people slipping and falling on your personal property.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking to Gary Hallock about here, territory owner of We Insure. So Gary, what are you seeing out there? What are some success stories, and then maybe even on the flip side, what are some tragedies that you've seen that maybe we can help our listeners not fall into that same trap?
Well, again, I've talked about assignment of benefits, and we're starting to see the department, or the OIR, which is the insurance regulators for the state of Florida, are starting to allow some of the carriers to put in language in the policy to limit the assignment of benefits. And basically what assignment of benefit is you give up your opportunity to the claim. It's now someone else's claim. And they can no longer, the carrier or the insurance company can no longer talk to you about the claim because you've lost the right to it. And we've seen claims go from $1,500 if you would have paid for it to $15,000, and now they're coming back suing the homeowner because the carrier didn't pay the $15,000.
Yeah.
So again, it's just, make sure you manage your claim. Let the insurance company have the first right. You can always hire an attorney after the fact if they don't do a good job for you. So, I think the carriers try to do the right thing up front.
That's right. Yeah, get educated, understand the system, and get that annual review. We always talk about getting review. I think people think about it more so maybe with their retirement plan or their stock holdings with, their stockbroker, their wealth advisor. By the way, most of the so-called wealth advisors out there aren't even a fiduciary. They don't have your best interest in mind. But I'd stay off of that bunny trail there. But But Gary, yeah, I mean, what do you recommend? People come in, sit down with you. I know you've got a team also throughout the Tampa Bay area. They can go sit down with one of your reps if it's closer.
Correct. I've got agency owners all through the Tampa Bay area. Glenn McGaha is down in Apollo Beach, if you're down in that area. Dave Wood is over in St. Pete. I got Edison DeBarros in Oldsmar. Wilson Peck is in Tampa, and then myself up in Lutz. And I actually have two other agency owners in my office that are with me. So, Land O'Lakes, Lutz area is very close for our area.
Yeah, and get that review. Find out what's in your policy. Find out maybe there's some things you can do to tweak it to save a little bit of money, or maybe you want to spend a little bit more money and be protected.
Yeah, and again, I think the funniest story I heard was I got a call from a client, and they're like, "I want to cancel my policy." I'm like, "Why?" "Well, I just made the last payment on my mortgage. I'm not required to have insurance anymore."
Right.
I'm like, "You have a $350,000 house. It gets hit by lightning, gets burnt down. Are you willing to pay cash to rebuild your house?" And they're like, "Oh, I didn't realize that."
Right.
I just thought I was required to have it because my mortgage company kept hounding me to have insurance. So.
Yeah. Well, look at the education system in America. We don't learn about credit in school. There's no credit police. We don't understand a lot of times that, again, just generally speaking here, we don't understand the right mortgage. Mario, Jason, and Gary, we don't understand, what's in our premium.
Exactly.
So you're looking at, what are the trade-offs, and there's a lot of these different stories and the myths that are out there about, your financial future. So there's a lot of misunderstandings that happen.
Oh, that's very true. And again, even from a claim standpoint, most people don't understand. And, I've seen claims open and it's something small. Their carpet gets damaged. Well, it's a $400 claim to replace it, yet they file and they have a $2,500 deductible. So now they have an open claim. Now they're required to fix it themselves. And when they go to try to buy insurance, there's a claim history, and that could affect the next carrier if they're willing to accept that risk or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and jump into this top 10 best kept secrets for buying a home according to HGTV. And we're just going to have a roundtable discussion here on this. So buying secret number 10, keep your money where it is. It's not wise to make any huge purchases or move your money around 3 to 6 months before buying a new home. You don't want to take any big chances with your credit profile. Lenders need to see that you're reliable, yada, yada. We've heard this before, Mario.
This is one of the biggest pains. I don't know what people are thinking a lot of times with I literally have had somebody who was cleared to close the next day, and they go and verify his employment and he quit his job because we were cleared. I'm like, what are you thinking? But the big thing we run into is the Patriot Act, where it's like an anti-terrorism, and that's a big thing they look at is how you're moving your money around. So if you're looking to purchase, leave your money in the account that it is, and don't deposit huge sums of cash or anything like that. Leave everything as it is. Leading up to a purchase, it'll make your life a lot easier.
Alrighty then.
I had to get the Jim Carrey in there. All right, number 9, get pre-approved for your home loan. There's a big difference between being buyer being pre-approved or pre-qualified and a buyer who has a pre-approved mortgage. Anybody can get pre-qualified for a loan. Getting pre-approved means the lender has looked at all your financial information and let you know how much you can afford. Being pre-approved save you time and money, energy going through the process. Running around looking at houses you can't afford. Maybe we'll let Jason talk about that one.
Sure. There's a couple of large institutions. You can literally go right on their website and fill out 4 points of information and get a pre-qualification, which is literally worth the paper it's written on.
Yeah, exactly.
So getting pre-approved is a little bit different. You're providing your income, your assets. We're reviewing credit. We're actually approving you for a specific program at a specific price so that you can go in confidence to go buy a home. So absolutely, definitely get pre-approved. And if the individuals can't pre-approve you, call Mario.
Buying secret number 7, don't try to time the market. Don't obsess with trying to time the market. Figure out when it's the best time to buy. Find the perfect house. You can't afford it. Real estate is cyclical. It goes up and down. It comes back up again. Gary, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, you go back 10, 15 years ago, and I remember seeing guys that were making $30,000 a year buying an $800,000 house because it was only going to go up. We know how that turned out for most of them.
Yep, exactly. The bank's going to come along. Bye, Felicia. They're going to say, get out. You don't afford it. You can't afford it. All right. So coming up as well, we got a Good Samaritan prevents what could have been a tragedy in Treasure Island in our Tell Me Something Good segment coming up, and also more from our expert contributors. We're going to jump into our lightning round as well. Tell you the top tips, things to do, things to avoid in our areas of expertise today. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and we are looking for a select few agents. We're actually recruiting real estate agents right now, looking to add to our team. We've got explosive growth with our radio and TV show, Facebook marketing, Google. So looking for top realtors out there that might want to join our team and benefit from these leads that we're producing. And if you are giving a shout out to Total Brokerage here, are you looking for a way to maximize efficiency in your real estate business and consolidate all the cumbersome and expensive software? Well, we have fantastic news. Recently, I was introduced to a revolutionary software package called Total Brokerage. It's a cloud-based solution, completely mobile-friendly, and integrates all of the critical software pieces in my business: CRM, lead management, communications, e-marketing, documents and forms, transactions, e-signatures, financial management, and compliance. Total Brokerage is a real game changer for your business. Check out totalbrokerage.com. Let them know Brandon sent you, and you'll get your first month free at totalbrokerage.com. You can also remind you, check out our consumerqb.com. You can submit the form there, and all the email questions will come right to myself and Anthony, our show producer. We'll make sure we get back to you before our head hits the pillow. Also, save our hotline number, 813-670-7372. You can give us a call on our hotline at 813-670-7372. Don't forget our number. In-house, we got Mario Larrea, Home First Lending Mortgage Specialist, Jason Brooks, Vice President of Retail Sales, E-Mortgage Management, Reverse Mortgage Specialist, as well as Gary Hallock, Territory Owner of We Insure. He's an insurance expert here in Tampa Bay. We're going through our top 10 best-kept secrets for buying a home, according to HGTV. Buying secret number 6. Bigger isn't always better. Everyone's drawn to the biggest, most beautiful house on the block, but bigger isn't usually better when it comes to these houses. There's an old adage in real estate that says you don't buy the biggest house, the best house on the block. The large house only appeals to a very small audience and will limit your potential buyers when you're going to sell. Your home is going to go up in value as well. So let's see. I think we left off with Mario. Comments?
Yeah, another thing on that from the mortgage side, makes it real hard to appraise your home. Because if you're the biggest one in there, there's nothing else comparable to it. So that's another thing that makes it a lot more difficult to sell, as well as trying to find somebody to buy it.
Yeah, great point.
To justify the price.
Great point. Yeah, I get the question sometimes. Well, what is your average listing sell? How days on the market? And I said, there's so many variations, especially vacant land, commercial. The residential property that's 1,800. Here, put it this way: you got investors out there, and we're buying cash market, off market properties as well. So we're looking for investors, hard money lenders right now as well. So, but basically, where you want to be there is between 185 and 250. Because that's where the sweet spot is. Most people that are making average money, they're going to have that. There's more people that can afford those homes. So buying secret number 6. Let's go to buying secret number 5. Avoid sleeper cost. Avoid these sleeper costs when renting or home ownership is sleeper cost. Most people just focus on their mortgage payment, but they need to be aware of other expenses: property taxes, utilities, HOA dues, repairs, maintenance, potential property taxes increases. These types of things can come back to bite people, Jason.
Yeah, and probably the one that I have a personal vendetta against is CDD fees.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I've seen. It's a direct addition to your tax bill. Typically, CDD communities also have an HOA, so it's not like you're getting out of one and into the other. And they can be thousands and thousands of dollars a year. So, be careful. If you're working with somebody to get pre-approved, those are the things that they should be looking at. They should be pulling the tax bills, looking at what the taxes are currently, getting a better assessment of what that's going to be. A lot of people don't realize how big of an effect the taxes, insurance have on the mortgage payment. It's about 30%, 25 to 30% of the payment typically. So, you gotta understand going into that. That's where you're going to be, and absolutely watch out for those types of things.
Yep. Buying secret number 4. You're buying a house, not dating it. It says based on emotions, just keep your break. You're just going to break your heart. If you fall in love with something, you might end up making some pretty bad financial decisions. There's a big difference between your emotions and instincts. Going with your instincts means that you recognize you're going to getting a great house at a good value. Going with your emotions is being obsessed with the paint color, the backyard. It's an investment, so stay calm and be wise. And Gary?
I had that perfect experience when I bought my house. We ended up buying the house my wife fell in love with versus the house that made more sense.
Right.
And I think that always happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. You got to take the emotions out of it. It reminds me of the discipline of clear thinking. Whenever you're making a huge decision, a big decision involving money or relationships, you want to develop the discipline of clear thinking. You want to think about it as a bucket of water, a bucket of silt that has dirt in it, right? So if that's shaken up and there's going to be cloudy, you're not going to be able to see through it. But the longer you let that settle, it's going to settle down. The vision's going to become clear, and you're going to be able to make a right decision. And the rule is think on paper. You want to write down the pros, the cons. You almost want to go through what they call in business a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Where would this house stack up? You really want to take your time when you're buying a property and make the right decision, because it's a big decision when it comes to being tied to a mortgage for 30 years, or there's even 40-year mortgages out there. Are there still 40 years out there?
I don't have any available.
No.
I
had one.
That to somebody.
I got stuck with one. They gave me one. So, buying secret number 3: give your house a physical. Hire a home inspector. It'll cost you about $200. Actually, more than that. This is the old article. Yeah, $300 to $400. Home inspector's role is going to, they're going to get up in the attic. They're going to find out what's going on. They're going to look at the electrical panel. They're going to do, typically a 4-point. Even Jay Smith with A Snoop Inspection, our partner on the show, he'll do a 4-point inspection for $125. So even if you're not looking to refinance or purchase, that's a way to go there, Mario.
Yeah, it's a good thing to know, because somebody who comes in, we don't require home inspections, but I would say probably 95% of the buyers, they're going to get a home inspection. It's a huge investment. So you want to know the problems ahead of time, just so you can either prepare for them, fix them, or, at least know what you're up against prior to it being, surprised with it.
Yeah, people don't, to piggyback on that, people don't realize some of the things you can get into. Between 95 and 2005, the polybutylene pipe issue, right? So our insurance guy definitely knows what that is.
Yep.
But the reality is, if you get a home inspection, the insurance company wants that 4-point in the wind mid or whatever else.
Yep.
And unfortunately, if they come up with polybutylene, guess what? You're replumbing the entire house before you get insurance on it. You can't even get insurance for the most part with polybutylene pipes. That wasn't that long ago. And if you're not getting a home inspection, you are crazy.
Yeah, like not getting, very similar to not getting a survey. You never know.
Right.
The encroachments, things out there. Number 2, the secret science of bidding. Your opening bid should be based on 2 things, according to this article. It says what you can and what you really believe that the property is worth. Make your opening bid something that's fair, reasonable, isn't going to offend the seller. You look at the other homes have gone for in the neighborhood. You come up with an average price per square foot. Sizing up the house on a price per square foot is a great equalizer, according to this article. So yeah, there's some truth in that, but I think that's what Zillow tries to do, and I don't care too much for that companies. But so anyways, buying secret number 2. Buying secret number 1: stalk the neighborhood before you go buy. Get the lay of the land. Drop by morning, noon, and night. I think that's smart. Look at it in the morning and noon and night. What are some of those movies where the train comes through late night, but you didn't see it. But drive by the house at all hours and find out what's happening in the neighborhood. Do your regular commute from the house to make sure it's something you can deal with on a daily basis. Find out how far it is from the nearest grocery store and other services. You can even have the kids research the schools, all that good stuff. So, buying secret number 1: stalk the neighborhood. Interesting.
Yeah, I like that one.
That's very good.
All right, so let's go ahead and do our feel-good story here. We're going to tell you something good.
Tell me something good.
All right, a Good Samaritan prevents what could have been a tragedy in Treasure Island in our Tell Me Something Good. So Good Samaritan pulls boater 73 to safety after Treasure Island crash. Ryan Hearn said he heard a lot going on in the waterways behind his Treasure Island home Sunday night. I heard the engine rev up, the RPMs high. Man, those jet skiers need to be careful, said Hearn. Hearn said he turned and several bang noises. The noises wasn't from the jet skiers, from a boat crashing through what used to be Hearn's dock. Hearn ran out to see what was going on. 18-foot boat had now against the seawall. I saw the man right there face down, called 911, and she asked me not to jump in. I said, he's going to die if I don't. She said, so I got a pool stick and I tried to remove him and he wasn't working. I said, I'm going in, and I jumped in. So he jumped in to get the 73-year-old Thomas Hamilton of St. Pete Beach to safety. The second Good Samaritan helped. The boater was taken to Bayfront. He was pretty banged up, said Hearn. I felt for him, and he was talking. I knew he would lose consciousness a little bit. He was a tough guy, I'll tell you that. And I'm glad that we were here and Florida Fish and Wildlife is investigating the crash. So there's a feel-good story. He jumped in and saved them.
Absolutely.
Wonder if the dock was covered by his homeowner's insurance.
Yeah, that'd be property damage on the boat.
What happens there, Gary?
It might be
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both going to chip in. Do they have uninsured boater? I don't
Actually, the boat owner doesn't have insurance, and would probably go back on the homeowner's policy for property
I don't think
damage.
you're required to.
Yeah.
So the property damage. So then, would a medical cover it too?
Again, it may fall back on auto. There's other coverages that may come into play on some of that.
I want to thank Mario Larrea, mortgage specialist, Home First Lending. I want to thank Jason Brooks, Vice President, Retail Sales, E-Mortgage Management, and Gary Hallock, territory owner of We Insure, and our expert contributors. I want to thank our listeners, our production staff, everyone for helping put this together, and also our listeners and viewers of our TV show out there on WeBeam TV, ConsumerQB.com. You can watch the live stream there as well. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up leftover food, carrying it with you to and from your commute to work, handing it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. Go out there and donate your time, donate leftover clothing, and potentially even donate money, and be a force for good out there in the community. Continue to check out our Facebook page, our website, consumerqb.com, at Brandon Rhymes1 on Twitter, and we'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.